Well, we'll see how it goes. Dreigiau in the yellow, and in the purple we have Drunken Sailors. This is our first game of your semi-finals of the EGX qualifiers. Let's get right into it, dude. Let's go.
All right, so straight away, I just want to point out the Drunken Sailors running an ink cloud is something that is very, very strong on this particular map. You just usually charge it and then throw your ink cloud from one zone to the other. Usually gets a lot of control around in top mid and gets control of both zones. But unfortunately, it seems like they just took one of the players out that had an ink cloud.
Yeah, Mole just spacing back and then using that to just pressurize with the 10 and 10 to take missiles. Spid using the inkjet now to try and get a little bit more pressure, pushing back his opponent. They've got one, they've got two. And they're now going to be pushing down this timer.
We got Spid using the blaster. It seems like he's going to be pushed out here. I think the best situation for him is to be pushed a little bit back, as he can get a little bit more support from his teammates. But Flare coming in with the inkjet. Flare gets this nice splat by Flare, and now they're in position to push up.
Manages to get both of the Splatzones as well, so the timer ticking down. They're going to take the lead momentarily, and there it is. Drunken Sailors with an early lead, or an early recovery at least.
Yeah, exactly. Now, it looks like we're in a situation where Dragons just need to post up on the top right here. Looks like they are getting themselves into position right here. Got 3 guys in top right. Fortunately, I'm going to call her P.
Okay, that's fine.
Just so I could...
Oh, right, it's okay.
She's completely shut that down, and it looks like Drunken Sailors continue to hold control.
Yeah.
Always determined to push back a little bit, and fortunately, Drunken Sailors take them out.
There's so much coming out on the side of Drunken Sailors. They are all over Dreigiau right now. 10 points left to go. They've got a 2 squid advantage. It looks like it's going to be their game, and they will take the first game of this semi-final. Drunken Sailors with a nice, clean victory to open up their campaign here. And the first game lost for Dreigiau. It's exciting to hear.
Exciting.
At the start of the game, Dreigiau managed to get their space in, and they managed to kind of push very, very nicely. But as soon as Drunken Sailors just kind of like, they just, dug their heels in, they got the control of that ground, just slowly worked it back and just wouldn't let go after that point.
Yeah, it seemed like the majority of the time is that Drunken Sailors, once they had the control, they made sure that they kept it. So every single time they tried, I guess, Dragons tried to push, or I guess to push back in.
Yeah.
Drunken Sailors were just one step ahead. Yeah. They always tried to get one splat and just completely deny the entire push.
Yeah, and that kind of like that push denial, or at least that zone denial, is so crucial in this game. Always has been, always will be. And that, can win you games or not. And Drunken Sailor now 1 up, and they'll be moving on to their second game. Feeling pretty good about that. Nice start. Get those nerves out of the way. If it is maybe your first time on the stage, I don't think it is the first time for these guys on stage at all. But it's going to be Camp Triggerfish for tower control. I've seen this one be used a lot, Camp Triggerfish, and it's for tower control specifically. And I think James Bowden just really likes this combination of map. When the tower spends a lot of time over open water in this one.
Yeah.
And this is. I keep saying it, and I'll say it again every single time. This is one where we're very prone to the 2-DOS, which we need to make sure we can't do. I won't ever let you live that down. 2-DOS, I'm sorry. See, I know him from speedrunning, and then I found out that he also plays Splatoon, and then I found out about this whole joke around him that he always falls in water, and I loved it because I don't know. I just found it funny, really.
Yeah, it's
a good joke.
It's a pretty well-known joke in our community.
Never gets old.
Never gets old. Like, funny thing actually is that. 2-DOS actually did a 2-DOS to someone else. Like, I think he pushed somebody off into the water, and then he just kind of stood over the edge and just looked just like,
this is a bit weird. Wrong way around here. Of course, shout out to him, a lovely guy from the American community, of course. I met him once actually at SGDQ,
cool.
speedrunning marathon.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. I just like, oh man, you put a face to the name. It was lovely. Anyway, enough of that. Nice. If you haven't
UK
already,
times
if you haven't already realised, I love a good tangent. They're great. Tangents are fun. But yeah, Camp Triggerfish, tower control. Tower control, I mean, I hear that, you know, it was one of the ones that I was playing it, how's it going? Everyone's always like waving at us. We're on the middle of a camera show thing, stream. It's one of those things that I think when I was playing the game, I always tended to prefer things like Splatzones, but tower control is one that I hear is quite, you know, becoming a bit more of a popular and just generally enjoyed mode. And I wonder why is that? Do you think that it's kind of a very, very popular one for players?
I think it's more of a thing where people are learning how to play it better. Like they're having a little bit, I guess, better structure of a team composition. So yeah. I guess it's the thing, like people usually want to have blasters. People usually want to have some sort of backline weapon that has a Stingray because, I mean, as you see right here, we've got a blaster charger that has Stingray.
Yep.
On Drunken Sailors, though, they have 2 blasters but no Stingray, so I think that's interesting.
Yeah, I was going to say, I mean, we have always seen that Stingray whenever we see that as well. It's kind of weird to not see that. But Camp Triggerfish is underway. We've got Geo on the ledge there with that charger, just being a bit of a menace right now, charging up those special points.
It looks like just trying to look. Oh,
that's right.
Okay, all right. So it seems like Dragons taking the early lead. Wow, it's a 1v1 situation in the middle here.
Look at this. Spaghetti all over the shot, but Ibuki there getting the splat over Geo, who was just couldn't. Oh, no, Tim, there it is, immediately. We have it.
All right, so it seems like Dragons actually still have a bit of control. Looks like Drunken Sailors are actually having a hard time actually trying to get big in, but they're using a couple specials. Should be able to get the splat on Spid right there. And now Drunken Sailors are taking over, and they're starting to make a push. Yeah,
again, there's early start from Dreigiau being beaten out by Drunken Sailors eventually, and Ibuki on this tower once again, pushing through that checkpoint, and we're off. The baller being pushed off of there by the blaster as well, really pressurizing Spid with that baller.
Now they're doing a really good job of actually alternating people from, I guess, the tower, because I just saw there that Flare went on the tower, and then Ibuki went on the tower, and it's just like they have a lot of great communication with just swapping around the tower and who needs to be on it. So well, looks like Dragons are actually coming back in and fighting back.
Spid again, unleashing that Inkjet, just trying to get the shots over that ridge. Pressurizing, gets a shot on Flare, follows. Ibuki gets away though.
Seems like we got a pretty close game here. Dragons, you can see Geo's starting to post up on the tower. I think they need to get rid of this Octo Brush that's just chilling here. Blue Racer.
Yeah, Blue Racer, we've seen a lot of them being very, very disruptive. You know, just this kind of like mid-range player who just kind of goes in and then just immediately backs out, and is consistently this like thorn in the side of Dreigiau.
Now Dreigiau using the Stingray just to slow down the push a little bit. Now Stingray is really, really helpful when you're trying to slow down the tower, especially when you don't really have any of your teammates to, I guess, fight against it. But especially when the whole entire enemy team is just kind of flooding around it. So allows the, I guess, Dreigiau to actually come back in a little bit, but unfortunately, actually, never mind.
The mole getting a nice splat there. Yeah, just it needs to be careful of that. That Walker. Okay, so Ibuki has been playing really well. Nice 1-for-1 there, but Ibuki's been so fast-paced with that blaster.
Yeah, for sure.
And that splat bomb combo as well. Sorry.
Yeah. So it's been like this game has kind of been quite back and forth. It seems like I guess Dreigiau has kind of been, I guess, stopping the push, and then we have Drunken Sailors kind of going back over it as well. So it's kind of like a little bit of a tug of war here, but
yeah, they've managed to kind of really get set in now. So they're going to be pushing back on this point. 14 points to go. Geo with that Stingray on top of the tower, pushing back as much as they can, taking the lead now with 1 minute and 30 to go.
Now, I think we had a DC.
It
looks like the whole.
There has been a player did play this. I was going to say that seemed a little bit too decisive, I think, considering the rest of that game. I believe we're just going to do a remake of this game and go back into it.
I mean, that's fine for me. More Splatoon.
Yeah, it means more Splatoon, but it does happen every now and then. We do have the odd technical hitch. It is live after all, and earlier myself and Conrad were discussing tech and the joys of it.
It's amazing.
Yeah, I love it. Yeah.
Amazing in the good and bad ways.
Yeah, it'll just go, you know what, I don't want to work today. No.
Yeah.
You're like, but why? You're like, because I don't want to work today. Yeah, it's like a union worker. No, but we'll get that sorted. Someone's going to just jump straight back in as soon as possible, and we'll get that game back on to your screens for your eyeballs to enjoy. But yeah, we are going to be redoing it. So what we saw there was this wonderful. As you were saying, they got the initial points, and then Drunken Sailors pushed to a degree that it was just kind of going back and forth between that. It was never kind of anyone getting any serious push from that point onward. Drunken Sailors just very, very aggressive, very fast-paced, and just trying to break those lines as soon as possible. Be as disruptive as possible at all times.
Yeah.
But what can Dreigiau really do to get back at that?
I feel like Dreigiau's problem is, I guess, they need better, frontline presence. Because they have all the factors that make a great tower control team.
Yeah.
But it's just the thing that they need to, fight against.
System.
They just need to fight against the frontliners that are coming from Drunken Sailors, because they have they had about 3 there.
Yeah.
So it's just a thing where they just need to take a couple out, slow down the game, and then just push them back, because usually when a team gets pushed out, they push back to their backliner. So that backliner tends to, support them to counter push that. But since Drunken Sailors don't actually have that, in that situation, it'll make it a little bit easier for Dreigiau to actually push up.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, as he's going to say, someone behind is this kind of like almost like this kind of comforting blanket that's kind of like you're falling back into this reverse push that's going to come out and hopefully get you back into the game. And as you say, Drunken Sailors very aggressive, pushing far up. If you get past that line, they've got nothing.
Yeah, exactly.
And that's where you can capitalize on that.
Yeah, that type of comp is like a type of comp where you would. It's kind of like a KO comp.
Yeah.
So it's the thing where you want to be pushing as hard as you can, but you want to make sure that the time doesn't run out.
Yeah,
you just complete end it.
You aren't grinding out the time victory, as you say. Yeah, you mean because you don't have that. Yeah, I mean, it's a very volatile comp as a whole. It can backfire on you, but it's like you're going, short, sharp. It's kind of like assassination style. You want to get in there, do the deed, get out.
Exactly.
And hopefully in your favor. But we were getting back underway. The game is remade, and we will have a replay of Game 2, Camp Triggerfish, between our two teams, Dreigiau and
Drunken Sailors.
You know that moment when your brain goes, nope, I'm going to forget that for you.
Yeah, exactly.
Players trying to get as many of their special, their special gauge as possible.
Yeah, looks like they're starting out a little bit differently, but as you can see, straight away, Gio with the nice double. Yeah,
getting that shot on Blue Racer, and that's going to be important to really, get into the enemy line. And they kept that early lead.
Nice. So it looks like this is really good from the Dragons right now. They've already started pushing up. Already got their inkjets out, and now alternating Gio back onto the tower. Blue
down, yeah, you can trying to get in there.
Running around with his brush there. That was kind of funny.
Ibuki, though, with that blaster, will take down Gio on the tower. It's interesting that Gio is on the tower and not supporting behind the tower with that charger.
Yeah, I mean, when you're, playing tower control, you can kind of expect your backliner to be on the tower. It just allows it to, your frontliners to push up, because if you push up with, with a charger, it kind of will be a little bit difficult to, take on people with close range. So usually that's why they stay on the tower.
Okay, Blue Racer here, and Ibuki grabbing hold, trying to take a little bit of space away from Dreigiau on this far side. Mole being forced over to the other edge of the stage.
Nice Ibuki. Holding on to the tower while being protected by a baller. That's pretty nice. Seems like they have taken 2 off from Dreigiau right here. Blue Racer using his inkjet, trying to get a pick if he can try to. Unfortunately doesn't get one, but okay, there we go.
Happy to get the points and has got the lead as well, 62-64. And it looks like they're going to be pushing even further now.
Okay, well, we got another 2-dot.
There we go, 2 of them now.
2 of them. This game has kind of been a little bit like deja vu, because I kind of remember when Gio kind of went into another situation where he got into like a really close situation where he's just kind of shooting and with his
I remember that bit. Yeah, for sure. I find those really interesting when all strategy goes out the window and it says fire.
Yeah,
just fire.
Sometimes you just gotta, you just gotta hope. You just gotta pray.
It's a spray and pray, as they say. Yeah.
So it seems like Drunken Sailors just got a full wipe, starting to use those bubbles to help the Drunken Sailors to actually push up. They can kind of use those as like mobile shields as they kind of travel through the street here. But unfortunately, Gio with the Stingray, using it to actually take out some of the Drunken Sailors and also to stop the tower. Now, it seems like Flair has taken out a couple. Gio with the nice defense with Splat right there, starting to push up. Dragons seem to actually still be in the lead here, so Dragons are also actually making another push. And
Blue Racer not being aware of that Splat Bomb getting taken down. Unfortunate way to go down on, really, but sometimes.
I really feel like what's it called? I really feel like Dragons need to start pushing up their front lines, because we're getting into a situation where Gio kind of pushed the tower. I mean, he got more points, of course, but he pushed the tower to a point where he can really defend himself. So Drunken Sailors tend to just have flooded on that, and then they managed to keep control from that.
Again, it's so far back and forth. Dreigiau are getting a little bit more of a push. A 12-point lead now for them as we hit 1 minute 20 left on the clock. And Drunken Sailors are going to look for a big push here where they need to, or it's going to be equalizing this, and we will see a game 4.
Yeah.
Gio once again on that tower. Splash being pushed back by, I believe, Spid on the far side as Blue Racer just does his thing. Okay.
They pushed the charger down into the water.
That's nice.
At least they stopped it, so that I guess Dragons can no longer get any more points. Coming to the minute marker right here now. It's kind of in a situation where they're in the winning lead, and they're actually doing a really good job of actually stopping Drunken Sailors to actually get into the tower. And this is what I really mean, is that having a backliner like this really does help with their defense. And it just doesn't seem like Drunken Sailors can actually really get in.
And I like that. I mean,
nice.
Taking them down as they go down themselves. I do like that, in those scenarios, like, all Gio needed to do was hold attention. They didn't even need to run away. Just stay on the tower, keep it pushing, and just let the opponent find them, waste their time.
Now it seems like we're getting to the 20-minute mark. Drunken Sailors just have to push it to the tower for a few more points, but Gio has the Stingray.
It's scary because the tower is pushing. They're coming up to their point. It's 12. All they need is 12 points. If they can get onto the tower in 5 seconds, 3, 2, 1. This is it. Last push. Last push now.
Dragons just have to flood the tower. They just have to go straight for the tower because there are not a lot of points.
Oh my God, they're on it again. Oh my word, can they get the win?
No.
51!
No. Gio's gonna take it. No.
Oh my word, they take it. Drunken Sailors with the win, 49-50, holding on to that final push and getting the points they need.
That was so close. Like, Gio could have saved that. Gio could have saved that. He was going towards the tower, he was going on it, but I think Blue Racer actually stopped him as he was landing on it, and it was just kind of a battle on the tower. There was like 2, 3 Inklings just fighting on the tower. They're just like, wow, what just happened?
Oh, my heart. Wow, what a close game. They pushed so hard. But you're right, Gio was right there. He just needed to get, it's just so hard to see that, and that's the power of overtime. You can't underestimate that. That was incredibly well played by Drunken Sailors just to hold on to that, to that comeback and just didn't give up at all.
Yeah, that was I'm kind of mind blown on that still. I was just like,
you wanted to see high-level Splatoon 2 play, dude.
And we got it.
Yeah, they're like, you know what? Fine. I see your bet and raise you.
It's moments like that just really make, I guess, Splatoon competitive just really fun to watch, because it's just like, even though you can have a team that's kind of losing throughout the entire game, but then there's always that moment where they can clutch up, they can just work through it and just turn things around just like that. And watching stuff like that when it comes that close very, very interesting to watch.
It's always good. And we're going to be going into Game 3, Rainmaker Piranha Pit. And it is, in fact, not a 1-all. It is 2-0 currently to Drunken Sailors, and they are looking for that victory. Rainmaker on Piranha Pit. Whew, can be fun.
Rainmaker Piranha Pit. So this is the map that I was actually talking about earlier. This map, it's a very, very different because beforehand, it used to be very, very open. So it was kind of a thing where longer range weapons used to thrive on this, and it was very hard for, I guess, the shorter range weapons to actually push up and such. So with all these new, I guess, closer together obstacles, I feel like it's now, I guess, a map where closer range weapons have a little bit more, I guess, leeway because they kind of use all the obstacles for cover and such. So. I don't know. I'm actually not too sure what we might expect from this map. We might have like a bit of both this time. So, you know, I can't wait.
Well, we're going to find out very, very shortly as we do approach Game 3 coming up. You know, it's always fun to see Rainmaker just because it is such an explosive mode, obviously, and it's one of those ones where, you know, it feels one of the more faster paced because it's all about the speed that you move directly with it rather than, you know, the objective having its own pace.
Yeah, exactly.
About you as a player and about you as a team being able to have that rush and that push. And these are when, you know, those massive kind of like set piece plays that we're talking about, you know, again, having loads of specials going in and just going for kind of some kind of just letting it all rain down and seeing how it goes. But we're getting underway, so we're going to go to this third game. Piranha Pit, and it's Rainmaker for our Game 3 of our first semi-final here at the EGX Qualifier.
Here we go. We have a Clash Blaster. Nice.
Yeah. Okay.
So seems like it's not the Clash Blaster. It's not the regular Clash Blaster. So there's not going to be a Stingray. Seems like Dragons, they're going to keep Geo on that charger to hold the Stingray. Stingray is a very, very strong special on this particular map. Considering of how narrow, I guess, Piranha Pit is, you can kind of just wave your Stingray around and just get a couple easy picks. Buki starting to push with that baller.
Yeah. Doesn't get anything from it, but it does just ward off the opponent and allow their teammate just to kind of push up behind. The Rainmaker shield's been gone for a while, but no one's taking it just yet because no one has a clear. It's just, you know, because of this maelstrom of the center, it's so hard to find the moment to get it and go in.
Yeah, that's actually something that's also added into Piranha Pit because beforehand it was on the floor, but now they have to actually go across into the ramp and then retrieve the Rainmaker on that way. So it may take a little bit more time for people to actually pick it up and get going.
Flare using the inkjet there to take down Geo. Ibuki has the Rainmaker, and they're going to try and make their way maybe towards the, just kind of hold to the left of this central spot. Spid being pushed back, and a lot of pressure comes out from Blue Racer there.
The Ink Brush coming in. He looks like he's going to start leading the charge here, running in, using the splashdown. Throws a bomb towards the charger. Looks like he's going to pressure that charger. I don't see that charger living after that.
Mole getting taken down. Ibuki immediately just swinging by and nabbing that Rainmaker. They're in the lead again, but they've lost it.
Nicely done by Drunken Sailors, holding the lead right here. Now, we have a returning Inkjet to try and defend this push, but Blue Racer stops it quite nicely. Drunken Sailors continuing to push here. Mole is going to be the only help to try and stop it, but no, could not take out Splash here, holding a Rainmaker, doing a couple of really nice maneuvers.
Oh my word, got the double splat, and Geo's there to take it, but gets taken down themselves. Sorry, continue.
It's all good, it's all good. So Geo has a Stingray. We're at a point here where Dragons just need to kind of get some turf because they're kind of, losing in that type of aspect right now. Because Drunken Sailors just have a bunch of control. They can just kind of hold this. Now, Dragons, they just need to start turfing. They're going to leave the Rainmaker here, so he goes back into the middle. Oh, okay, or not.
I think they wanted to push up and let their teammate just grab it from behind. I respect it. A little bit of support coming out with that Stingray, just kind of hard cover Mole, but he gets taken down by Ibuki.
Nice. I feel like it's a thing where I guess Drunken Sailors is just really aggressive comp. It's kind of helping them in this situation because I guess in Rainmaker, when you do have, slower weapons like charges and that, they can be really good, of course, but can it handle the pressure? And just watching this gameplay right here, I don't feel like Geo is actually able to actually hold it up. I feel like Drunken Sailors is just kind of overpowering the team.
Yeah.
So it's like Geo's now picking up the Rainmaker. Dragons they need to slow down just a little bit, because as you can see, they're kind of pushed up to, I guess, not really having a lot of turf, and Drunken Sailors can kind of use that to their advantage and just pushed up and took out of all the dragons, basically.
Yeah. Rainmaker now reset as well, so that might help a little bit, but it does push Drunken Sailors' advance back, but Dreigiau have a lot to do to get into that center once again.
It's like Flair almost getting the double splat. Tim completely stopped it, getting a really nice, I guess, shot with that inkjet right there. Looks like he's going to just start inking up a little bit. Actually, no, the Drunken Sailors, they still have too much control, but Tim with the flank gets a nice double splat. Only one alive right now. Is just needs to, I guess, hold his position. He doesn't really need to, I guess, make too much noise, but it looks like he wants to do the complete opposite.
Yeah.
Flair with the nice mid shot right there. Really, really nice.
Flair doing so well with that inkjet as well. The Rainmaker, we got 45 seconds left on the clock from now, and it looks like Drunken Sailors have a strong lead in 38 points here. They need to find a way to just kind of push back their opponent. Splash goes down from the Stingrays. Flair having a little bit of a 1v1 there. Looks like they lost that one, as Blue Racer just does Blue Racer things.
Nice, nice, nice. It looks like Drunken Sailors are actually looking to just hold the Rainmaker here. They're not really looking to push anymore, considering that I guess the timer is almost over. It's 20 seconds left, so really they can just kind of leave the Rainmaker. They don't really need to push too much. Deciding to do something else, deciding to push up, I guess.
Yeah, Blue Racer did a very, very good job of just kind of having so many options there, you know, just to punish, and just did a lot of work. Ibuki now pushing forward, even further forward, goes for a shot to the ground. Time's going to run out though unless they can get that, and it's overtime. If Drunken Sailors get this Rainmaker, it is over.
Well, looks like Dragon actually picked up the Rainmaker, but Blue Racer almost taking out Geo. Now
double splat, and they do the reverse. No, they can't.
Oh, they can't. Drunken Sailors with the 3-0.
They take that game in the end, and Drunken Sailors will defeat Dreigiau or Gogledd, and they will drop out of the tournament. And then Drunken Sailors advances to the grand finals a little bit later on.